Welcome ZZZ proxies, and in particular Garnt and Connor. Hey, I hope this gets to y'all so that you have your one-stop shop in helping you build, fight, and progress in Zenless Zone Zero. And if you're not from Trash Taste, it's time to click off the video. Just kidding. This is also for many of you who have started to pick up Zenless Zone Zero during patch 1.4. There's just an astronomical amount of information. Even a veteran like me is astonished about how much more content there is in the game. So let's rip off the band-aid and get started with... For many, gachas are about collecting and using the units in the game. For those unfamiliar with gacha, this monetary system basically has us using the in-game currency or transferring our real-life dollars into fake ones. And in the case of this patch for ZZZ, you can gacha or pull on one of the latest and honestly greatest releases we've ever seen in the game, Hoshimi Miyabi. The boys have already pulled and tried them, and y'all both have heard from your chats that you should first start to focus on playing her as your main DPS. Watching the VODs, I think they got the basics down in the trials.
I don't know why I'm laughing. Sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me.
But let's more specifically cater this guide for you two to talk more about the differences with mindscapes, or the copies of the characters in the game. For Connor, I believe you have M0 with no weapon, while Garnt, who is obviously F2P,
remain free to play. The dream lives on. 10 pools and a single dream.
What's up?
Oh my god.
has M2 S1. There's a pretty sizable difference between the two, even though their outward performances are very similar. Let's dive into it. First, at M0, you're given 3 stacks of your blue balls. Yes, I know, let's suspend our disbelief that they made the stacks for Miyabi 3 pairs of blue balls. And with this, you'll be able to start the fight off with a 5-hit auto chain into E skill, granting 2 stacks, then hitting a frost burn, granting the last stack you need. This should be more than enough to get Connor to 6 stacks, whereby which you can unleash the enhanced basic attack Shimotsuki, an incredibly strong sequence of slashes that make up for over 50% of her total damage. Try to always gun for 6 stacks before charge attacking so that you get the biggest damage return. Then let's head over to Garnt. With his M2, he actually starts with 6 stacks. You can immediately go into your first charge attack here, allowing you as well to gain back 1 stack due to frost burn. After you E skill and perform a full 5 attack basic string, you'll end up with 4 or 5 stacks again to another E skill, which should cap off a second fully charged attack. Yes, this essentially breaks down into 2 charge attack rotations, doubling your damage versus 1 rotation of Connor's Miyabi. But regardless, a suggestion for each of the boys. First, Connor, if you can, try to grab the W engine. Yes, the building called the Hailstorm Shrine is one of the only anomaly-based weapon options that has crit rate, and Miyabi is going to need more crit rate so that she's able to hit those crazy multipliers, as well as increase her ability to generate Frostburn. So for those who think we can just build attack and crit damage, unfortunately, we're sorely mistaken. And in all honesty, the M2 S1 for Garnt gives you some crazy flexibility and liberty on how you play her around your other units. But remember to swap and utilize your other units too, as they can take over during Miyabi's short downtime windows. There are other more minute differences in damage calcs, defense shred, and other metrics that make M2 better. But I know Garnt, and especially Connor, don't really like to read.
Deaf? I was kind of deaf there, I'm not gonna lie.
I need to talk to you about something.
Are you talking about something? Skip that. We need to talk. We need to talk. It's important. Skip. We need to talk. It's important.
So let's move on to the next step after building your main character. Yes, it's time to come up with the teams, and honestly, both of the Trash Taste boys have some solid contenders. I understand that Garnt has a majority of A tiers, and Connor, although playing a lot less, actually has some respectable A and S tier units. First, let's go into Miyabi's best team, since that is who you're going to want to build around. Taking a look at the sheet here, these are my favorite teams to pair with Miyabi, ranging from focused synergy with premium units like Yanagi and Lighter, to more universal support cores of Lycon Sokaku and Piper and Lucy. Now for Connor specifically, I suggest the team here that we go with your core of Kaleda and Lucy. Yes, Iron Mouse, I mean the president of Bellabog Industries, is a bit different of a unit than I had on the sheet earlier. However, the synergy with Kaleda and Lucy will be able to proc their extra abilities to 1, help them stun units faster, and 2, maintain Lucy's buffs, while the synergy with Miyabi and Lucy allows for Miyabi to further increase her damage. You can read at these extra core abilities by clicking on the 2 spinning wheels on the right. It's not the most intuitive place to put a core skill. You could say it makes nonsense. Then for Garnt, we can't forget about your best girl. That's right, Piper. Piper, and more specifically, your M6 Piper will be able to generate quite a few physical anomalies with her big axe. Or being in the anomaly class with miyabi, you can tell from their class that they have an affinity for building up their attribute anomalies. For miyabi, it's ice, or more specifically frost, and for Piper, it's assault. And not only that, you're also able to build up disorders, which will further allow you to stack more blue balls for your miyabi when you switch her off to give the fox a little breather. With the new decibel system, many units benefit from being able to ult, including the anomaly units who sometimes have to sit back and wait. With this, you can now more conveniently pop a physical anomaly versus before you could have only popped one ult per team. As a wise man once told me, you can't have too much volcano.
ASO, too much volcano.
For Connor and Garnt, here are your best teams and a slideshow of builds for them. Please pause here for each of the teams as they come across so that you're not guessing on anything they would need. These sheets have all the information from alternative W engines and best main and substats for your drives. That's essentially your artifact, armor, or equip system for those who are not in the know, as well as their skill priorities alongside a few more team options. Not only that, let's show Connor your best teams and their synergistic partners here. Garnt, yours are here. And I also forgot to mention that both of you should be able to build this team, a core with miyabi and Haramasa, as he is free. He's a bit more complicated to work out as you need to learn how to get his quivers out and Electro Prison, but if you like a guide on him, check out another video I'm coming out with soon to review the free S tier unit. If you would like to build units outside of this, please hit me up on Twitter, Discord, and Twitch, where I'll have all of these resources as well as more infographics, as I am a guide maker and CC for Hoyoverse and Zenless Zone Zero. I'd love for y'all to come by and chat sometime as a fellow Trash Taste fan. Trash Taster? Trash Tastian. As you've now constructed your teams, let's focus more on progression and road mapping. Because yes, characters are very important, but unlocking other features in the game to max out said characters is next on the list. To build your characters, you're going to need to unlock these within New Eridu. First is the Scott Outpost. Fast travel to here is unlocked after the interlude of Chapter 1. Here you will access the Notorious Hunt and Drive Disc farming stages. For both Connor and Garnt, we're going to be seeing you a ton here at the Monster Duet. These two will drop the Drive Discs needed to build miyabi. Then, since there are 6 slots, you'll need to fill out the rest of them. Please head over to 6th Street, where you'll be able to get access to the recycling system here in ZZZ. With the most beautiful NPC in existence, Elfie will take your trash and turn it into these tapes called master copies, which can be redeemed for any of the 6 slots. Then just redeem the ones that you need to fill out the rest of your miyabi's drive systems. I suggest Woodpecker Electro for the last 2 slots. And boom! Remember, the system allows you to fill out any 4 slots and 2 slots for their bonuses. So be creative and don't think you need to limit yourself on how to build her. After your main DPS, move on to 2 first characters. They'll either need stun drives for folks like Kaleda or energy recharge sets here for the likes of Lucy and Sokaku. Then you two will also familiarize yourself with the HIA, which is this place on the map with a huge HIA sign. You'll unlock this after reaching a certain proxy level and running through the story called Trash Talking. How apropos. It's relatively easy and will allow you to start farming for everything else. Your skill materials, W engine and character ascension materials, higher core materials, and even some extra dennies and EXP mats, which generally I suggest away from, but early on will help you expedite your progression. For players under level 40, there actually is a level ramp to the amount of materials you receive. So ideally focusing on things that will give you linear progression, like your character and W engines, are suggested. Then you can start to get drives for your characters, like in the routine cleanup mentioned earlier. Since both Garnt and Connor have B's and A tier drive options, again, those will hold you up for the story content, but anything outside, you'll definitely want higher grade equipment. As we wrap up here, let's talk money. More specifically, polychromes, because I know both of you want to maintain your F2P statuses, but that comes at the cost of playing some of the other aspects of the game. Firstly, the higher difficulty content. This comes in the form of 3 generalized game modes. First is Shiyu Defense, a 2-sided combat simulation where you fight your way through tough opponents under a time constraint. The second is Hollow Zero. There are multiple versions and they are Sanzet's attempts at recreating the beloved roguelike game mode experience we all crave for. The newest iteration has you become a Bang Boo for a portion, which is just fun to waddle around with Eos and the others. Lastly is Tower. The simulated battle tower in the HIA is quite difficult, not allowing you to heal for stretches at a time. It can get difficult heading upwards of floor 20. If y'all would like a guide on this with some best practices for more endgame modes, let me know in the comments down below. Yet there is more to this game than just fighting in combat. Lastly, a super underrated aspect of this game that I think everyone should try out is the dating sim. Yes, the dating sim. I know it's quite a bit off kilter, and as most folks know, especially if you're just looking at the trailers, is that ZZZ is known for 2 things. First, it's that it's a gooner game. Oh, for free! That's crazy! And second, it has one of the best combat experiences in the market. But did y'all know that doing the companion and trust quests are actually really fun and a great way to get to learn more about the characters, especially your favorites. So whether you're into bears, demons, wolves, this game has actually some awesome dialogue and fun interactions, which conveniently also get you some polychromes and more in-game items like icon and wallpapers. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Goddamn. Make sure to pay attention to the limited events as well, which can range from the simple to arcade events and even some combat-oriented ones for an extra boost in the polychrome department. And with that, there's enough information to cover both Garnt, Connor, and you for more than a month. Continue to log in and do your dailies, which take literally 10 seconds, and boom, there is your Zenless Zone Zero experience. I will have a video going up soon about the newest characters that y'all will meet through the story, Jshoea and Evelyn, in the coming weeks if y'all are already looking ahead. And I want to say that if this does reach the Trash Taste Boys, that I've been such a big fan of yours and of course Joey's for the longest time, especially your guys' individual journeys before you guys came together in 2020. And I hope this video can be a very, very small way to ease the growing pains of a game that I love so much. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to click on this next video because YouTube thinks you'll like it. My name is Josh. We'll see you in the next one.